Welcome back, Shalloners. Well, today's an update on our latest challenge, the keto diet weight drop-a-thon that we embarked on. So we're going to get into it. I feel like I've kept you guys waiting for a really long time for an update on this, and that's a data point. That's because I didn't feel like I was thin enough to update you guys, and I was ashamed of myself, and I'm like, no, then you definitely need to come clean with them. So I'm about to speak my truth and talk fat. Chew the fat and talk the fat. But first, just want to remind you that if you have a love question or any kind of question you want to talk with me one-on-one, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat to get connected. Also follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you guys pick the next challenge and weigh in on our all sorts of video topics and vote. And listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, out every place podcasts are found. So if you guys remember, I'm pretty sure it's been more than 30 days on the keto challenge. I challenge you guys to spend 30 days doing some kind of eating healthy thing. Doesn't have to be keto. Maybe it was Whole30. Maybe it was intermittent fasting. Maybe it was not drinking for a month, making all your meals ahead of time and meal prepping, going vegetarian or vegan, whatever works for you, because that's the whole deal. It's got to work for you, right? If it doesn't, I learned so long ago, because I've been on I feel like every diet known to man, that something that works for my friend does not mean it's going to work for me. One of my best friends is vegan and she's tiny as a teacup. I went vegan and I looked like a snowman. I look like Kim Kardashian, but not in a cute way, because I was just eating fake chicken nuggets, fake soy this, and soy has so much estrogen in it. It's the most genetically modified product on the market. Soy. Yeah, it's not great for you. So I was taking in a ton of estrogen and I just looked like shapes, just rounded shapes. This is a paper straw, just by the way. I'm a green bad bitch. So keto is a thing that I love. I have lost weight on keto before. I'm hypoglycemic, so sugar is like poison to my body. Hypoglycemia is kind of like the inverse of diabetes almost. They need insulin. I just don't process sugar effectively. I won't try to go into a WebMD diagnosis. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. So I really like keto, and I just like to eat meat and cheese and kale for a living. It's eggs and avocados. And I was going really good at first. We all collaborated on the Reddit subthread, the Shallon. Please go and sign up and weigh in, not literally, but weigh in with your experience on this, on any diet, and just connect with other Shalloners, because that's what we're really here to do, right? Is build this collaborative community within ourselves and a stronghold of sisterhood and feminism. That is our brand here at the Shallon. And also I was on a Snapchat thread with some of you guys where it was the shame thread, where we would post what we were eating every single meal to keep each other accountable. And I'm sorry, girls, I'm sorry I dropped off. But so this is my victim narrative. You want to talk victim narrative? Let's talk food victim narrative. I realize I have a lot of issues with anxiety eating and eating to please other people and treat yourself mentality. We've all seen the meme where it's I had a bad day in November 2013 and I haven't stopped treating myself since. Accurate. I travel a lot, 2 to 3 weeks out of the month. I'm somewhere, whether it's back in California, I'm in DC visiting the boyfriend, I'm going to Europe in 2 days, I'm in New York, I'm all over the place. And traveling and eating right is so hard. And if I'm being honest, it's not only because it's hard to find healthy options. At the airport, yes, the airport is a minefield of terrible things. I end up just eating boiled eggs from Au Bon Pain, because that's the only just pure protein I can get. Everything is carby and sugary and I find that if you derail your diet at the airport, you're toast. You're toast for the rest of the trip. You're doomed, because you just break that stronghold and you break that promise to yourself. And then if you're okay, well, if I'm going to eat this whole thing of pizza roll combos on the plane, I'm going to start treating myself when I get to my destination and really see the treats, really see the good, cool food and the sugary drinks on the beach or the wonderful pastries in Paris or whatever it is. And you're going to look back and be did I need that Frappuccino though before I got on the plane? No. So it's really been a challenge for me, and it takes a lot of planning. I have to step back and I have to meal prep for the plane. I have to cook a bunch of bacon, grill a bunch of chicken, do whatever, avocado, take it in a little thing, be sure I have it, be sure I have a fork, wash it out in the sink in the plane, but I do it to stay on target. And I have fallen off doing that. And I know this, and I'm mad at myself. So let's talk about the people pleasing aspect. It's been such an obstacle for me to just tell people I don't want to do something, I don't want to eat that, or I don't want to drink. Because guys, the correlation between drinking and losing weight, I hate how true it is. I hate it. It's the most unfair thing. At my age, I would think that my body would be getting better at certain things, not worse. And it's getting worse at almost everything. Do you know how much I just like trip and fall over when I'm walking? Like an idiot. I'm like, I've been doing this for 30 years. Like, have I not like gotten this down yet? And certainly with drinking. I feel almost like I don't even get drunk when I drink now. Like I get tired and I get hot. Part of it's because it's like the summer and it is 1 billion degrees, so I'm dehydrated. And I'll get like emo and sad. I'll want to text people I shouldn't. But I never feel like fun drunk, maybe for like 15 minutes, and I'll keep chasing that dragon. Like I'll keep drinking, trying to get back to that initial high, and I don't get there, and I never really feel drunk. But the next day, I want to kill myself. I'm so hungover. I'm so anxious. My anxiety wakes me up by force, and then I'm anxious for like a day or two, like if not, like 2 days, and I just feel like garbagey. You know when you feel like, if you feel kind of like you're about to get sick, like about to get a cold, and you're just like, I just feel sort of like thin and reedy, not literally thin. But I'm like, this is not worth it. And it's been really hard for me to go out and be with my friends or go to an event where I don't know people and I'm anxious and not drink. Like I went to this thing you guys might have seen on my Instagram. I went to Hunter Hayes' listening party and like we hung out with him, and I was like anxious. It was at the Plaza. I hadn't been out in a while. I was like, this used to be like my place, like, or the Palace Hotel, like Gossip Girl. And I just felt very like out of my element. I would have had an unlimited number of glasses of champagne. Well, I kind of did. I had 3. And then Hunter and I like had some Japanese whiskey, which is actually good. He changed my mind on that. And then we did a pickleback shot. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I've had 5 drinks? Like, what am I doing? And I felt awful the next day. I felt awful already later that night. Like it just wasn't fun. But I didn't think I could say no. And that is really emblematic of what I use food and alcohol to do. It's to please others, but not really, because if we're being honest, like nobody cares if I drink. Like nobody cares if Shallon drinks. But that was my big fear, that if I say no, I'm not going to have the breadsticks. No, I don't want to like order dessert. No, I don't want to do this. Then people are going to be like, because my role in my family was always like the peacemaker and the court jester. Lester the jester. I know, I got it. But like when there was tension, I was like, like I was stepping in and trying to keep the peace. And so I feel anxious. I'm like very cognizant of the temperature in the room in terms of whether or not people are having fun. And it's too much for me to handle. So I just anesthetize myself with food. You know, like I always have to be eating. I always have to have something in my mouth. Look, like even doing these videos, I have to have something. I'm also just really thirsty, but you know, I'm like, it's like I'm breastfeeding. It's like, put something in her mouth. She's crying. It's twisted, but just figuring that out has been so instrumental, because here is what I've done. I give a name to it. A lot of times I'm eating out of boredom. And if I stop and I say the word out loud, I say the emotion out loud like a lunatic. I say bored, 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 bored. And it helps. Certainly anxious. And for a while, I had to like literally say it out loud, and I looked crazy. I looked like a crazy person. Now I can stop and I can pause and I can say it internally. And I take a breath, and it's like I've got the monkey off my back. I'm back in control. So let's talk numbers, right? Have I lost weight? I've lost about 5 pounds, and I know I could have done better. I feel better. I really do. But like my thighs are still rubbing together when I walk. And historically, that's not how my body is structured. I have really wide hips and I've always had fairly thin legs. So like I've got a thigh gap, and I don't now. And I cannot even comprehend how uncomfortable it is. You know what I had to do? Oh, I can't believe I'm going to tell you guys this, but I did. I had to order those like bands, those chub rub bands that go around your thighs, because I'm going to Europe in a few days and I'm going to be walking a lot. And I'm like, I can't have my thighs touch like this. They're going to rub so much, they're going to start a fire. And I'm like, I'm so deeply ashamed of myself. I'm so ashamed. It's a sickening feeling, Because it's not like, I'm not saying I'm fat, and I'm certainly not saying if you look like me, you're fat, but I know where my happy weight is, and I know that I'm not there. And I know that you guys understand that feeling. So this is our chance to recommit. I read a quote the other day that says, don't stop, because the you when you started was desperate to get where you are today. I was like, oh, that hit me so hard. That's really powerful. And it's true. It's like, when I started this, I was desperate to be 5 pounds lighter, right? Like, I'm not going to stop now. We might stumble, we might take a pause, but that is the path to success in so many different things. You know, like, I feel like growing up and going to school and having a very regimented life gave us such a warped idea of what success looks like in any category. Like, I am an author, I ran a magazine, now I'm a YouTuber, and like the path is not this. It's all over the place. And same with weight loss and same with being healthy. You know, it's highs and it's lows. Success isn't about never having the lows. It's about getting back up when you have them. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's cliche because people have been saying that for millennia because it's been true. It's true from the jump. So I'm getting back on the keto. And yeah, I'm leaving for Ireland in 2 days, and then I'm going to Portugal so I'm going to be gone for like almost 2 weeks. And keeping keto on this journey is going to be almost impossible. And so instead of doing what I normally do, which is I have one bad day and I'm like, YOLO, it's a free for all. And I just like go ham, maybe literally eating a lot of ham or bananas, also eating a lot of banana-based products. I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to allow myself one treat a day, one treat, so that I don't feel deprived, because who wants to travel and be like, no, just have a salad? That's not what life is about. I didn't put on all my weight in 2 weeks. I ain't going to take it off in 2 weeks. I want to have a good experience and I want to really experience things. But my rule, I'm trying to make it like, if it's something that I could get like in my regular life, like mashed potatoes, bread, I'm going to skip it. If it's something that's special to the activity I'm doing or to the place I'm at, pastiche de nata, I'm going to eat them. I'm going to eat the hell out of them. You know, I'm going to like a fancy afternoon tea in Ireland. I'm going to eat the clotted cream and the scones. I'm not going to get that I'm not going to go down to Starbucks on the daily and get a scone like a nightmare person. Come on. So that's going to give me the wiggle room of indulgence, so I don't feel like I'm white knuckling it through this entire experience and ashamed of myself if I fail. And it's going to give me the elasticity to stay on it. Another thing I've been doing that has been incredibly helpful is intermittent fasting. And there's a lot of talk about intermittent fasting, and people hear the word fast and they're like, no. All intermittent fasting is, it's literally just common sense. I swear. So when I was at my very, very, very thinnest before I moved to New York, I weighed 114 pounds. I weigh like 20 pounds more than that now. Yikes. I was so tiny, and I was a waitress. I was a secretary during the day, glittering life I led. And then I would come home for lunch and I would eat as much food as I could get into my body. I mean, I would gorge myself because I would start my waitressing shift at 4 and I would not eat again. I wouldn't eat the rest of the night and I would be walking the whole time. And I was dropping weight like crazy, like crazy. It was like I had an eating disorder, but I didn't. I was literally just basically, without even realizing it, intermittent fasting. Because I wasn't eating like after 5 p.m., my body was so much more efficient. So this is the way you do intermittent fasting. It's not like you can't eat. It's like, don't eat late at night. You don't need to eat at 9 p.m. or even 8 p.m. Cut it off. And you want to put 12 hours at the very, very, very minimum between your last meal and then your next meal, right? So you want to actually do 12 hours, then 14, then 16, then 18, and then work your way back down to 12. Because that's going to shock your system in a good way, and it's going to keep the calorie burn going. And also it's going to regulate your hunger levels. You're not going to wake up and be like, I need to eat. You're going to be like, no, I'm good. I am like a breakfast person. I usually need like a good breakfast. But if I'm eating at 9 p.m., 12 hours from that is 9 a.m. A lot of times I'm not even up anyway. So I push it to 14, 11 a.m. You can push it more than that. So it makes me more cognizant of when I stop eating the night before, because that's really the trick. It's not like you need to wait to eat until 2 p.m. That's not realistic for most of us. It's not even, I don't think, very healthy. You need energy and you just start that metabolic fire as quickly as you can. It means you're going to cut it off earlier the day before. And when I was doing it when I was younger, like I said, I was eating anything I wanted, anything I wanted. Like I had a burger, I had dumplings, I had a salad, like rah, 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 rah. But because I cut it off, it didn't matter. So if you're having trouble sticking to like a specific diet, try the intermittent fasting. Cut shit off at 6 p.m. Cut it off and try to do it now while it's still light outside, because when you do it in the winter, it's a lot harder. Like someone said they never eat after it's dark outside. I was like, cool. So you eat dinner at 4:30 when you're still at work? And they're like, yeah, I do. I eat all 3 meals a day in my desk. I was like, well, that's a nightmare. I don't know that I like being thin that much. So if you can get your body on a schedule where it's used to eating earlier, maybe your life is going to change a little bit. Maybe you're going to book your classes around getting out and having a normal dinner time that's healthy and good for your body. Maybe you're going to tell your boss, actually, no, I'm not working till 8 anymore. No, I have other things to do. This is my schedule now. I'm devoted to my health. There could be a shift, and it could be a really good one. So we're going to recommit ourselves, because when we get a handle on this in about, I think, 2 weeks, we're going to start, our fitness challenge, right? You knew this was coming, because I really wanted to do the eating one first so that we could get a grip on this and feel like we had control over the thing that matters most, which is nutrition over exercising. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. Believe that, I tried. 80% of revolutionizing your body comes from what you eat. Abs are made in the kitchen. It's irritating. But it doesn't have to be. So tell me what you guys have been trying. Tell me what worked. I know one of you said you lost 12 pounds doing this challenge, and I literally teared up, partly because I'm happy for you and partly because I'm ashamed of myself. So go to Reddit, go to the Shallontourage subthread or thread. I don't know how Reddit works, but connect, collaborate. It's such a good resource. And you guys can talk to each other, not just about food, but about like any little thing. And it's wonderful. And there's like friendships being made. There's friendships being made. There's weight being dropped. There's smiles that are getting bigger and waistlines that are getting smaller. We're living, girls. We're living. Like I said, if you want to ask me anything privately, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO, and click chat to get connected. And follow me on Instagram. I'll let you weigh in on the next video topic. And listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, out everywhere podcasts are found.